we're gonna cover the I Confronted Destiny on his crimes. It's from the Willie Mack show. I think Willie Mack does a really, really good job as a YouTuber. Everything I've ever watched from him has been incredible. Now, I haven't watched anything on stream per se. I did feel like it was necessary to watch this due to the fact that Willie usually does a pretty good job of covering this whole situation as a whole. And during my last reaction of Destiny, there was something I found out later about the whole thing I watched, the whole little documentary I watched, that was a little bit suspect. And basically, and I think Willie will cover this drama, but basically what happened was the information that was released in that video was not released by the victims, which I think is totally uncool. And yeah, dude, let's get into this. I'm sure he'll cover it, but I didn't know that when I released the video, so it was kind of a, oh, oops, how am I supposed to know, you know? I thought all the bases were covered when he released it. It's not like I did all the questioning and journalism on that. I just gave my opinion and then reacted to his gooning.
I want to preface this video by stating that I was the only one that reached out to everyone involved in this story, and that the victims weren't just used by Destiny, but by YouTubers trying to frame themselves as heroes. One of them is still lying about what he did. Now, I'm not going to pretend that I personally care about the victims either.
So this is the thing, because, like, here's the thing. I don't know anybody involved. I don't know any of the people, but that guy he showed, whatever that dude's name is, which I can't remember off the top of my head, he's the one that I reacted to the video where he did the Destiny nuke. He nuked Destiny. And I feel like I should have waited a little bit before reacting to it, but I was like, this is going to be good content. I still don't feel bad that I reacted to it, because especially since a lot of the stuff in that thing were real and happening, and now there's a lawsuit because of it. I just feel like it wasn't him or his job to out all that.
I don't know them. However, I do have the basic human decency to not try and sabotage them. I pride myself on doing a good job, and this video is finally up to those standards. So enjoy! Destiny is a political streamer that has framed himself as a moral authority. I've gone on his shows, cited his appearances often when covering the Red Pill. He's framed himself as someone who's fighting for respecting women.
I think there's an intention within DDG, from what I can tell, from what you say and what people say, to make women feel comfortable in this space. Is that correct?
There's an intention from me. There's probably an intention from part of my community.
He thinks teenagers should get dating advice from him rather than their own stupid parents.
Person comes up to you and starts saying some weird stuff. You just sit there with this 13-year-old and then you start having conversations extended about them about dating.
Yeah, I have before. What do you mean? No, would I tell if a young person came up to me and they were asking me questions about some like boy problems or something? Yeah, I'd probably say, yeah, of course. What do you mean, I'm a 35-year-old man? Of course I'm gonna have better advice for them than some random high school person. Yeah, of course. If a 15-year-old girl came up to me and she's like, there's some weird going on with the
See, this is how Destiny reacts, dude. He spurgs out anytime he has any sort of pushback, and it leads him into having clips like this. I think this was definitely the funny thing is, he's like, yeah, dude, I give the best advice. Just make sure whenever you have sex to have that camera rolling, and then send it to all your friends. That's exactly what you should do. What the
boy in my high school would say, oh, no, don't talk to me, honey. Go ask another 15-year-old boy, or ask your retarded fucking mom and dad who are going to tell you to never talk to any boys ever. No, what the why would I not talk to you in person? Wait, what?
Yet Destiny has a longer list of women he's had sexual interactions with that now hate him than any of these guys. Almost all of which have been labeled as crazy, unhinged psychos, liars.
Yeah, like, I can be a pretty cool motherfucker. And yeah, you know, me and Malene have problems, but I don't think I f***ed with all of this. I'm not running around screen sharing people's nudes, calling people ugly behind their backs while telling them I want to f*** them because they're—
Oh no! Oh no, dude! I didn't realize he had said it, dude. I didn't realize Sex Pestin, he said it, bro. He literally was like, I'm not out here sending all these nudes. I'm not spreading nudes. That's literally what you did. How else did they get leaked, buddy? Jesus, he did it to himself. I love downfalls. I love chaos. I love this shit. This is great.
Like trying to go up on shows that I'm like a producer of.
But recent leaks showed Destiny sharing sex tapes of his past partners without their consent to a 19-year-old named Rose in an attempt to get laid. I can't help but wonder, was there any truth behind their stories?
Things that's been done to me without consent or anything.
Bridget, you are a brilliant woman.
Dude. What? Dude, what?
But that has been my past 5 years.
One more time.
that has been my past 5 years.
Then there's the aspect of how these stories broke, coming from two YouTubers, President Sunday and Beckett, who never reached out to the victim, were never given permission to share any of this. Yet they did it anyway, confirming it's her in the leaks to the general public, framing her as a suicide baiter for saying she'd kill herself if her parents found out.
Pixie did the worst thing that someone in her position could do.
And I remember saying that it was kind of cringe that she did this, that this was garbage. So it's like these guys rushed out, and before they had all the information, without really confirming it with the victims and seeing like, hey, do you have like your lawyers, made sure that this was going to be okay. They just said, fuck it, dude. We don't care about you, dude. It's all for the content. Which is why I don't like do the not topical, but this is why I haven't done like any like hardcore teardowns and these documentary style stuff, because I don't want to fall into traps like this. I don't want to be the douchebag who finds out information and sitting on it and am like, well, you know, I really could use the views, dude. I really hate this guy, and honestly, and then justify it in my head why I should be able to do this. It's cringe.
Rather than seek legal recourse or make a public statement denouncing the violation of her consent and dignity that these leaks represented,
She was literally doing both of those things.
she seems to have ultimately chosen to try and profit from the situation by extorting Destiny.
This guy didn't even try to understand the full story before making a video victim shaming her. While her parents certainly know now, thanks to Sunday's journalism, if she dies, she dies, a risk he's totally willing to take on behalf of making his YouTube video. After Pixie was forced to go public, she would have other women reach out, saying they also had their nudes shared without their consent. One girl even claimed she filed a police report on Destiny for secretly recording them having sex, which if—
Bro, secretly, dude. Dude, this is getting better. What a gooner, bro. What an absolute degenerate. Like, who does that? I'm sorry. If you're like, oh, dude, if I'm gonna have sex with him, I'm gonna record it. No, you ask permission, dude. This isn't complicated shit, dude. This isn't like absolutely the most convoluted situation. It's like, if you're having sex with somebody and you want to record it, you ask their permission, and then you can do it. And then on top of that, if you want to show it to anybody, you have to then ask their permission again. It's not that complicated, bro. It's just, I'm gonna send a text. Oh, no? Okay, I won't do it again. Wow, dude. What? Big brain shit. Dude, it doesn't take your average cum falcon to think of that.
True is such a violation of another person's privacy, I genuinely hope he faces criminal consequences for it. This is not the first time this accusation has come up.
The way that Lauren keeps saying this is that is implying that I'm like recording me people or recording me like sexual stuff or something like that. That's how she like implies it. When Lauren says it over and over again, that's what
dude, I love his like ironic like what? It's just all cope, dude. This is all cope. It's like, what is he saying the quiet part out loud and pretending it's not him? He's using it to deflect the fact that he actually did that. That's wild.
That's what she's referring to.
The response he gave on Reddit as well as in his stream come off as absurd, like he's the victim.
A lot of vulture culture streams tonight. A lot of clout hungry people that wanted to spend 12 hours reacting to this are going to be very disappointed, and I'm sure they'll have their own conspiratorial reasons for why I'm saying what I am saying.
His friends have all disavowed him. His podcast host says he told his wife to leave him.
I'll say this also. I think Steven was a really shitty husband to Melina. Okay? I'm coming out here saying it right now. I don't think Steve would deny it either, but it's not good the way that he was. Like, I talked with Melina a lot of times and she was crying and miserable and everything else. And Steve would say, what do you want me to say? I'm a selfish motherfucker. That's why I'm in the relationship that I'm in. He was like, you know, what should I do? Should I leave? And I'll tell you this, I never was like, I was never like, no, you should stay and make things out. I told her multiple times, like, listen, if you feel like this is an abusive relationship, get the fuck out of there immediately.
Acting like he's...
Well, here's the thing too, dude. I do always kind of hate when people like pile on, you know? But at the same time, Destiny just seems like the type of guy. And I've seen like a bunch of different interactions, even where he's like hanging out with Turkey Tom. I remember when Turkey Tom and him went to that gun thing. They went and hung out with all those gun YouTubers. And Destiny the whole time was sitting like a little angry boy on a chair, didn't want to like react with anybody because it was almost like he didn't want to be there, and Tom dragged him along. And it's almost like every single time Destiny goes on a show, there's stories about him being an absolute entitled asshole. Now, I'm not saying that he can't do that, because that's in anybody's purview. They can do whatever the fuck they want. I mean, if I'm gonna be on a show, like if they like say, oh, we need you on a show, we're gonna fly you out, and I'm sitting there, I mean, I'm gonna be cordial, but I don't have to. Nobody's like, there's no obligation for me to be nice. But there's been so many times where people just say Destiny is a fucking prick to be around. And just look at the way that he treats anybody he talks to that he has a slight disagreement with. He goes absolute gorilla monkey banana mode, bro. He's like, I'm Donkey Kong, bro. You better catch these motherfucking barrels. It's insane, dude. It's insane. He just wants to throw barrels of cum at people and be angry all the time. Could you imagine being in the house with him? Could you imagine, like, actually sitting in the same house and having a disagreement with him? It's not going to go well.
Betrayed because nobody reached out to him.
I want to write up a list of all the people, actually, hold on. Because there were some people that messaged me to, like, figure out, like, what was actually going on before they kind of decided to do all this, like, crazy public stuff about it. I just want to read off a list of those people. Hold on. Okay. Yeah, and that's all of them. That was a little bit shocking as well, but okay.
So I reached out, confronting him, asking him pointed questions, and his answers were disappointing. So much so it made me wonder why he would want anyone to reach out at all. His enemies would use all of this to take victory laps on Destiny.
First of all, okay, I would say that I'm pretty confident that everyone who was featured in these videos also sent videos of them and other people as well. But nobody talks about that.
What are you thinking?
As always, dude, Hasan giving the best input possible. Just letting the video play as long as possible, not really paying any sort of attention. I'm not really saying that. I just know that Hasan was probably excited that all this shit's going down. Hasan, well, and this is actually a double-edged sword for Hasan. I don't know if you know this. Here's a little bit of lore. But Hasan likes to take anybody who's a detractor of him and blame it as being part of Destiny's community. When you cannot like Destiny too. I don't like Destiny. I like Destiny in the fact that I find him entertaining. Like, I find entertainment value from him. I always have. It's just like his demeanor and his like absolute willingness to spurg at any moment I've always found kind of funny. It's like when Alex Jones is like, they're turning the frickin' frogs gay, I'm gonna eat your leftist ass. I enjoy that energy. And so I always saw I always saw Destiny kind of like an Alex Jones type, and I always saw Hasan as the Nick Fuentes. And the funny thing is Hasan will sit here and then like complain about all the detractors, but now that Destiny's like out of the public eye, he's kind of nuking his career. It's funny that Hasan will have less of an audience to blame. It's not going to be your Destiny guys anymore, especially if like this goes to court, he's proven he's wrong. I mean, that's going to fracture his fan base even more. So who's Hasan gonna blame now, dude? Just blame everything on Ethan Klein? It's like, it's hard to shift blame when the guy you're shifting blame to doesn't have a big audience anymore.
Everyone who was featured in these videos also sent videos of them and other people as well. But nobody talks about that.
Okay. Classic, I just made up a no you defense, but that's cool.
Hasan is getting a W over the guy who was trying to get him banned for the past 3 months. Painful. Destiny would throw away all of his credibility because he wanted to goon. This is the sort of video I finish and I just want to shake my head in disappointment. I need Z-Biotic pre-alcohol to get through this. Rudy, we all have busy lives and we can't waste a day stuck inside sitting on the couch because
if you want to get his Z-Biotic, you can go ahead and get it. I don't care enough.
Video. For background information.
But yeah, I'll have the video in the description below when this video releases. And yeah, you can go get his shit and use his code. And if you want to use Willie Mac and print out a poster and then just rub your nipples to it, I mean, do whatever makes you happy, bro. I'm not here to judge.
All of these leaks are coming from a 19-year-old girl named Rose is Coming.
That kind of shit is literally f***ing disgusting. That he would try to trap a little girl and I don't want to be presumptuous. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry if this upsets you because you're 19, or I'm sorry if this upsets you because you're 22 or something, right? Or if you're some legal guy or whatever, you know. When you're 19, you're a little kid, okay? Now, if you're 22, a 19-year-old's not a kid to you, okay? I'm 29. A 19-year-old might as well be a 15-year-old to me. It's all the fucking same, dude.
Well, now he's 36 and still talking to 19-year-olds. This Rose person rather gonna...
Bro, dude, it's always funny when people go through and get these clips that perfectly show the hypocrisy. I mean, people's opinions change. Like, he had said it in, like, more recent things, like, oh, you're 18, you're an adult. I have seen clips of that where it's like you can make your own decisions. So it is kind of disingenuous to do that, but at the same time, the hypocrisy is hilarious. hilarious and I love chaos. I just want to gobble it up. Tasty, tasty, tasty.
Hacked or leaked the videos herself, we still don't know for sure, and all of these people's most embarrassing moments are now cemented online. Now it's worth noting that Destiny didn't share these images because he wanted to embarrass anyone, he was trying to goon with Rose.
Just because of some legal age of consent, whatever bullshit, I have about as much in common with like an 18-year-old, 19-year-old freshman in school as I would a fucking sophomore in high school. Any type of inclination towards any of those people is really fucking weird.
I'm listening to clips of Destiny from last year defending himself from women saying that he's secretly recording them.
Lauren keeps like typing messages that make it sound like I'm secretly recording.
This is way better. This is a way better hypocrisy thing than pulling that other clip, which you could tell was almost 10 years ago. So like people's opinions can change, and having like a spurg out and changing your opinion isn't that like big of a deal. It's funny for the hypocrisy, it's funny for the content, it's awesome for the chaos that I'm willing to be and watching this crash out. But this right here is where the real meat and potatoes is. It's in the last year where he's sitting there telling you not to believe your lying eyes, not to believe your lying ears. Whatever people are saying, it's bullshit. And just remember, this is a guy who's also trying to tell you how to feel politically and what news is right and what news isn't right. But he's willing to lie blatantly to you about his like weird sex bullshit, but you don't think he's willing to lie for his political party? This is where I think it's funny. This is where I think this is a great point to show you that all of these political hacks on the internet are willing to lie to you at any time because it's politically expedient for them.
Recording people having sex. That's what it sounds like.
And then, oh look, what am I seeing on Twitter? This girl named Sherry saying Destiny secretly recorded her and shared it with people. One of the leaked DMs is Destiny showing audio of a dude he hooked up with, saying this just ended with him finishing. Again, audio's scuffed because my phone was in my pocket. It was in your pocket? Was it there because he didn't know you were recording? This guy did an entire arc arguing with red pillars on boundaries with his wife and how you should treat women. These videos were not shared with consent. One of the victims was Pixie, who heavily trusted Destiny. She described
it all looks so bad, dude. I know I'm pausing again, and you're probably annoyed that I'm pausing again, and I'm jumping in, and I'm fucking gooning as hard as I can, just like Destiny every time he's secretly recording. But it was so funny when I first saw Destiny ever as a creator. It was on like my feed. I was like scrolling, and all of a sudden I was seeing like a bunch of like Andrew Tate stuff, and everybody remembers the Andrew Tate stuff, like what color is your Bugatti? And I was like, okay, and then I saw this like resurgence of Andrew Tate types. There's a lot of podcasts popping up. All these fucking weird gooners that are so obsessed with what other people are doing in their free time sexually. It's like, if you want to goon to a Christmas tree, fucking goon to a Christmas tree. I don't give a fuck. It's not gonna affect my life at all. But you had all these people telling other people how they needed to act and what makes you like a real woman or a real man or whatever. And Destiny was making his rounds on all of these podcasts, arguing with these people. And a lot of times he looked kind of goofy, and sometimes he didn't look goofy. But it's all funny now that he was here kind of arguing with their morality, talking about how they actually didn't care about women and how he respected women more, while the whole time he's secretly recording every single encounter he has. Not every encounter. Allegedly, he recorded a bunch of encounters with him and other girls without their consent. That's how you're supposed to treat women? It's like, oh yeah, dude, I'm saving it for my collage of weird gooning stuff that I sell on the dark web. Joking. That's a joke, allegedly.
Herself is extremely sexually inexperienced and sheltered. I had multiple long conversations regarding consent and boundaries with Destiny. Has all of these conversations about consent and boundaries and then does this without consent. Amazing. The fact that Destiny didn't maliciously share these videos might matter legally. That will have to be determined, but it doesn't really matter for the victims, now does it? Their nudes are out there for their parents, employers, and friends to see. The leaks happened in November. By the end of December, Kiwi Farms, as well as many other creators, knew who the participants were. There were group chats talking about it. The most prominent victim in this story, Pixie, confronted Destiny about sharing her nudes without consent. I'm super sorry, there's literally zero excuses. In DMs, Aaron wrote to Destiny, you didn't leak it maliciously, you distributed it non-consensually. Yeah, I know, I have severely damaged her. Confirming yes, he did do this, making him come off like a complete fraud. He has hours of content telling people—
But I love that. Let's go back to that real quick.
Destiny about sharing her nudes without consent. I'm super sorry, there's
there shouldn't be no I'm sorry, there's literally zero excuse. I had my phone convos and stuff with this person, and they're fairly close to me. It's worth to say at this point, but I'm super sorry. There's literally no excuse. I won't say or confirm anything about them. If there's any particular action or thing I can do, just let me know. He's trying to be that good guy. He's trying to the whole time be the good guy. I'm sympathetic good Destiny.
Literally zero excuses. In DMs, Aaron wrote,
and this is a strange gate, right? Which is probably an extremely difficult to prove in her case. She's not a high-profile micro-celebrity, and you didn't leak it maliciously. You didn't even leak it at all. You distributed it non-consensually. Yeah, I know, but I look into it for obvious reasons, just to be sure. But I don't really care how much about legal side of it or whatever, obviously. I have severely, at this point, at the very least, psychologically damaged her, covering therapy or whatever is minimum, and I have no problem helping out or sending her money for anything as a form of reparation. I just didn't want to come off as, hey, bitch, lol. I know I violated your trust in the worst way ever, but here's some money, have fun. Dude's like, such a fucking weirdo, dude. I like that he put that in there, like, hey, bitch, lol. I know I violated your trust in the worst way ever, but here's some money to have fun. And this is just like, to me, what it's looking at is he's like, oh yeah, I'm sympathetic. I'll pay for, I'm not the bad guy, dude. I know it was a big mistake, but I'm here for you. And it's like, dude, you literally broke the law.
To Destiny, you didn't leak it maliciously, you distributed it non-consensually. Yeah, I know, I have severely damaged her. Confirming yes, he did do this, making him come off like a complete fraud. He has hours of content telling people how to live their lives, that they have no moral standards. Meanwhile, he's going on trips to Israel with his friend Lonerbox, while pocketing nudes of a girl he was having a thing with. There's a video of Pixie's dad thanking Destiny for being a good friend.
First of all, many thanks for being a friend to my dad.
No, dude! No, dude, he was like, Dad, thank you for being so nice to my daughter and always taking care of her. And what he didn't know is she was taking care of his dick. She was taking care of his semen in her cheeks and storing it like a chipmunk. And everybody knows this now because Destiny decided all of his friends needed to see the video. What the fuck?
Daughter.
Yeah, no problem.
She doesn't have any friends.
That's not true. You're so
she has a
mean.
shit ton of friends.
Okay.
But
bro, dude, she looks just so impressionable. Like, she didn't have a lot of now this is gonna be this is no slight at Pixie or whatever, but you can tell that she was somebody who didn't have a ton of friends, went to the internet, was probably frequenting people like Destiny's live streams all the time, decided they were gonna do it themselves, and was very impressionable. Now she still was consenting to like hooking up with him or whatever, right? Still consenting to that. But there's no doubt in my mind that they had a bunch of conversations and Destiny moved it in this direction. And then that's fine. That can happen. I'm not saying it can't. It's funny because the hypocrisy that he's like, I would never do that. 19-year-old is basically like a 12-year-old to me. But at the same time, he's utilizing somebody who's kind of naive to get what he wants and then record them against their consent. That's fucking wild, bro. Bro's over here just being an absolute fucking cum hurricane in the world.
I appreciate your friendship.
Oh,
and I appreciate that you are friends.
Thanks. Well, I try my best. I'm a friendly person, you know.
Bruh, this is painful to watch. Pixie is talking to Kyla here. They're friends, but Kyla has a conflict of interest. Her and her husband moved from Canada to work with Destiny. They uprooted their whole lives for this. Pixie emphasizes, Steven has to face the consequences proportional to his actions. I want this to be the most expensive mistake of his life. I'm essentially asking him to punish himself in a way I don't think he will or agree with without the law getting involved. I don't have a dollar amount from the top of my head. It just has to be enough for the rest of his life. If he thinks of the word nude, he associates it with the amount of money he lost. $1 million is a price that gets thrown around in later DMs, and upon reading that, me and a lot of other people initially laughed, but then I thought about it. If somebody leaked my nudes, I would want their head. I can't have that, so $1 million from a millionaire sounds fair enough.
Based, yeah, no, I see, and I haven't looked at, after these screenshots came out and I saw these, I was waiting for somebody else to cover this so that I could get the record straight on this whole situation, because I feel like there was a lot of missed context from that first guy's video, because he just kind of fucking threw it to the wind and wanted to get as much fucking relevancy as possible. He wanted to be the first guy on the drama, and that's honestly a huge issue with a lot of these type of people. That's something I've always respected about somebody like Willie Mack, is they're willing to wait until all the facts come out to then make the video. There's a lot of people that are trying to be the first dog on the bone, and it's honestly kind of pathetic.
starts to look like.
And it sucks too, because like, it's somebody like me who's watching it for the chaos and the fun to watch a micro celebrity crash online. It's like, oh, I watched something from somebody, thought it was funny, and then all of a sudden, oh shit, dude, this is like actual. This is just him being just as fucking horrible. Not just as horrible as Destiny, but being just a fucking bad actor in the whole situation.
She's protecting Destiny in these messages. It wasn't clear to me before that this is what you wanted specifically. My understanding is it was more of a sense of rehabilitation. Now, this was only one leak. You know how many times he's probably shared these nudes and not gotten caught? But Kyla's like, Pixie, you don't understand. He's super sorry. In an interview Kyla gave Tom, it comes off as her looking out for Destiny.
Just to me, like, recording somebody and then without their knowledge and leaking it is like a full-on, like it's a pretty like sexually invasive crime. Leaking somebody's nudes, I think, is also really bad. To be clear, I think it is really bad. But the issue is that I think it's fundamentally just a more common issue that people do. It's definitely, in my experience, not the first time that somebody has like leaked nudes. I think it's not okay. Like when you hear about like guys like showing other guys like tits that some girls shunter, like I think it's gross, and there's a reason I don't look at.
I mean that's that's I agree it's less severe, but.
So
this isn't a bunch
of
high schoolers, right? This is a 35-year-old guy who's doing this.
Sure, but the law and morals are different, right?
Boys will be boys.
Jesus, dude. I think this is the problem that Tom has had with this whole situation. I was glad that he came out and said something about it, like, hey, dude, I don't stand with this. And I think I kind of saw this coming from the moment that Tom started hanging out with Destiny, is there's a lot of people who have been around Destiny that then bail out because of Destiny, because he's manipulative, or he's a fucking cum goblin, dude. He's a fucking cum goblin, and he's not somebody that I feel like. And if you have somebody that's like a hardcore political fucking yeller on the internet, there's no other way to put it than they just scream about politics on the internet, you're never gonna have like a sound relationship with them, because they view everybody who disagrees with them as their enemy, and so eventually something like this was going to happen.
This is a crazy statement coming from someone whose last video is about feminism. She's like, only if Destiny does the worst thing possible will it matter to me.
The way I'm getting painted here is like really, really far from the truth, and I don't really know why.
You look like Ghislaine Maxwell.
I know.
Brutal. She says that.
Dude, Tom fucking said that and he fucking died, bro. Yeah, you look like Ghislaine Maxwell. Because Tom tries to be really fair when he interviews people. I think that that's something you should do if you're interviewing somebody, to try to be as fair as ever. Don't try to catch you in gotcha moments, because I've seen people, one person in particular, I saw do this a while back, and I actually have respect for him as a YouTuber, but his name is Fratanga Plays, and he was interviewing David Jaffe and about like David Jaffe calling everybody racist, which he does on a weekly basis. And instead of waiting for him to actually like present his thoughts, what he did was wait for a gotcha moment. He was like, oh, look what you just said. You're a fucking retard. Look how fucking retarded you are. And you're not going to get any more information after that. You've then made that person your enemy, and it's now an argument. So when you're interviewing somebody, the best thing to do is let them talk themselves into their own hole, or just try to maintain as much information as you possibly can to then listen to it later and make your then decision on it. You can do pushback. Pushback is always good, but do not try to be rude about it. I feel like there's a lot of people that are like, ooh, I want to get what's been sitting in the back of my fucking noggin for the last hour out, and I want to just tell you about it.
Steven showed accountability and a step-by-step plan on how he was going to correct all of this.
Basically, the moment that I saw like remorsefulness, accountability, and like a step-by-step plan of like how he was going to correct the issue, that's when I was like, okay, I can still work with this person, because it's like the try and the accountability that matters to me.
What was his plan? Because all I saw was Destiny blaming his actions on being off of Vyvanse. Apparently, if he's off of his meds, he doesn't have to respect people's privacy. Interesting symptoms. I want to point out that Pixie stands by that Kyla was being a good friend despite how she comes off. It's worth acknowledging that. When this story hit the wider public, Destiny gave a statement on Reddit. He titled it "Legal Arc Beginning in Mysterious Ways." Such wow. Which shows how unserious he is about about this whole thing. Like, what if he gets...
Well, that's the thing. Destiny isn't taking anything seriously because he thought... Here's Destiny's thought going into this. Destiny thought, I get away with just about everything. I am uncancelable. That is what everybody has always told me. That is what I've always thought. I can say whatever I want. I can be whatever I want. I am the ultimate fucking goon lord, Destiny. They can try to take me down. They try to take me down all the time, and it hasn't happened. I can say whatever I want, do whatever I want, and get the fuck away from it, bro. I'm getting out scot-free. And this time he gooned too close to the fucking sun. He got jizz on his own face, and now he's seeing actual trouble. So this is even looking worse now because the dude fucking fucked up.
Criminally convicted. Will he label that his prison arc? He says he had no intention of these images or videos leaking, and that he hasn't spoken up for the following reasons. He was going to pursue litigation, most likely against the hacker and sites hosting the leaks, and that he didn't want to bring publicity to the material. 3. I've been trying to move on from covering drama content as it has had an increasingly negative impact on those in my life. You want to move on? Now that the drama's about you, it's not fun anymore? People always act like they're above covering drama when they become the subject matter. 4. One person involved has expressed suicidal thoughts in relation to the matter, and I did not want to exacerbate the situation by talking about it publicly. Now that's a nice sentiment, but it's already all out there. The real reason he's quiet is because it's going through litigation. I can't help but roll my eyes when I read parts of this. I increasingly felt uncomfortable by the language being used regarding to financial punishment and wanting to teach me a lesson, along with constant references to the precariousness.
With up to 32 hours...
Dude, it's just so funny, dude. It's so funny how this dude just fucking thought he was in the clear. He thought he was just fine. He made it seem like they're coming after him again. This is nothing new. It's just so funny, dude. Instead of being dangerously likely to fall or collapse. And it was so funny because I saw that Turkey Tom had talked about Destiny after the election stream, right? There was something about Turkey Tom was getting some drama because of the election stream because he was fucking being a goof off while everybody else was being really serious and getting like and spurging out because Trump was winning. It was funny that then after that, Destiny was like, I'm taking political stuff more seriously, when behind the scenes, this shit was going on. When he was being a fucking gooner, and that's why he wanted to leave drama content. Not that he wanted to get more serious about politics. He just knew that the drama, that the cum was coming for him, and it was coming in like a fucking cum tsunami.
Of someone's mental health. You're being punished. It's not supposed to be comfortable. You know it's bad when the top comment is, I wish my streamer watched horse porn instead.
I want to a woman as a horse.
I can't believe Destiny gave this guy a W. And his return stream wasn't any better, using the same song Dr. Disrespect came back with. Destiny's response isn't great. He's since banned all the alleged victims from his community. He said, bro, if I need to go on the sex offender list, I'm taking 20 other streamers with me. Okay, lol W. Who are these 20 other streamers?
Yeah, dude, fucking release them. Why are you protecting sex offenders, bro? If you're willing to... See, this is what I want. This is something I would want to, like, if I found out about somebody in the community being a sex offender, I would I would actually like go out and try to find some information and then expose those people with the consent of the other people involved. I would actively try to not have these people protected. If you're protecting them because maybe you have the same political ideology or you have this like an overlapping audience, that is disingenuous. That's fucking disgusting, dude. I mean, like, this is something that honestly bothers me deep down, and I think that it should bother everybody deep down because of the fact that what the fuck? What the absolute fuck? Why would you, like, why wouldn't you have taken them down already? Why are you waiting until you have your shoe to drop? Why does your shoe have to fucking land in the wet pussy for everybody else's shoes to land in wet pussy? That is fucking weird.
Streamers, is there a Google Drive where perverts on Twitch upload other people's nudes? I repeat, how long has this been going on for? How sorry could he be? Not very if he's been covering for 20 other streamers doing the same thing. But then I'm seeing Destiny's co-host Dan on one hand disavowing Destiny for what he did, and then on the other hand threatening acquaintances.
If you're one of my coworkers out there and you're making your little bit of a strong statement about how much you condemn Destiny and everything else, you better not let me find you doing something else and signing some other bullshit off for someone else or you know, being weak. Because if that's gonna be the case, either be all the way fucking in or all the way fucking out. Okay, that's all I'm gonna tell you. All these half in the door motherfuckers, too much of a pussy to do anything else. Like, I get it, fine. If you're a content creator, you rely on this for your fucking life, then fine. Then off. Then say that Destiny's a fucking pervert, all that type of shit, and fucking go away forever. And that's what you should do. And off permanently. Same front there. I will say that I think that Steve has changed a lot, especially over the last year, where he is not like that type of person anymore. You guys don't fucking you don't see it because you don't know who he is.
People don't want to hear about how much he's changed when this has all just happened.
But if you think that you're gonna say a strong statement, say
yeah, dude. I mean, like, this is the thing. People don't know what the fuck's happened over the last year. All they know is he's had a bunch of fucking drama with a bunch of leaked fucking photos that he just had, like, cameras posted around every inch. His whole bedroom isn't walls. They're not walls. They're just secret cameras that he has, like, blended in to be. Oh, well, why does this look like a bunch of cameras? Oh, that's just how I painted them because I'm a streamer. Okay, let's have sex. I mean, come on, dude. Come the fuck on. Oh, yeah, he's changed. He's changed so much. Like, what how the fuck do we know? Like, we're supposed to believe you because you fucking told us? When the dude just has, like, a fucking giant Kiwi Farms page full of fucking leaked videos, probably, supposedly. I don't know. I've never gone on Kiwi Farms. But, I mean, that's where the shit comes from. Come on, dude.
that you're not fucking with him right now and come back in 2 months, fuck you, is what I have to say. You're worse than anyone. You're definitely worse than me. At least I'm honest about the situation. I've known the dude for 15 years. I can say that what he did was fucked up. He knows what he did was fucked up. He knows that he has to change, and he knows he's gonna have fucking consequences for it. But for fucking you, you're just a fucking weasel. All these motherfuckers that did this whole
well, and then there's me. Then there's me over here who just loves chaos. Never watched Destiny stream a day in his life. Just seen funny clips of him. And found out that he was having a crash out. And I was like, crash out, crash out. Ooh, we love a crash out, crash out, crash out. Gotta take my titties out, crash out, crash out. Destiny's gonna film them. It's great, dude. I love that I don't watch any of these fucking clowns because why would I listen to a political streamer? It just seems stupid to me. And now that they're crashing out, I can sit here and just have a little sip of sody pop and have a good time.
all the way in, all the way out. Any of these motherfuckers try to come back in after they've done their little strong weasel statement doing it? That noise.
How do you know he's changed, Dan? Did you know he was doing this? It's such an odd statement. How is Dan playing both sides this hard? So unless you stand by Destiny, you can't ever engage with him again. It's about to be a very lonely career. Abba called out Destiny, pointing out that this was always where his lifestyle was going to lead, and says that he has no respect for anyone he's intimate with.
I think that people look at some of the standard markers for trouble and they, for some reason, project a ton of stuff onto me, but I think I'm living like one of the healthiest, fullest lives that I possibly could be.
You know, constantly having poor relationships with women over a long period of time, or in other situations, STDs, different things like that. Eventually that hedonism comes back to bite them in the life, and they also recognize they could have been investing that time a lot better.
That's right. No, shut up, Melina, shut up. Let him talk. What do you mean? Constantly
hold.
Anything you do in life that's going to increase like your ability to like have fun or do like crazy stuff or whatever is always going to carry with it like the risk of death, right?
Absolutely.
Like you have no chance of dying by falling out of a plane unless you go skydiving, but that's not an argument because it's never skydiving.
But it is an argument against maybe skydiving 1,000.
It isn't just skydiving. What if the plane just like rips like okay, a very metal sized bird. We have a mecha bird. It's secretly a Transformers. You know when the Transformers became dinosaurs? Well, now they're fucking birds now. And that bird just decides it doesn't know where it's going and then hits the wing. The wing flies off and you're sucked out of the airplane and you're flying and you're flying. You didn't die there because you were skydiving. I mean, kind of skydiving, but it's not the actual act of skydiving. It's because the plane was crashing. That is another viable way to die from the plane.
Times if you don't want to die that way.
Well, if you want to skydive 1,000 times, then fucking skydive 1,000 times. Like, what's wrong? Damn, what happened to all the self-empowerment shit that you guys were talking about earlier? If your lifestyle choices are like, damn, I would never want to deal with like a crazy girl or anything like that, that's totally valid. I think that's totally fine. I accept that that's probably true for most people. But like, I'm okay with the trade-off on that for like all the benefits that I get.
I did. We kind of glazed by it, but I do like the fact that Melina went to talk. And he's like, "Shut the fuck up, Melina. I'm here. I'm the important guy here." Hey, I just think it's funny because like it's the same type of energy. I remember when Steven Crowder had that video with his wife, bro, and I was like, bro, what the fuck is going on, dude? This is what it's like to live with Steven Crowder. I mean, just there is how it is like to live with Melina. I mean, he was just a dick. I mean, live with Destiny. Bro was just like fine watching his girl plow other dudes right in front of him, like, and I don't care, do whatever the fuck you want, but then espouse that your way of life is the best way of life. I mean, he did say on multiple occasions that it's not the best. It worked for him and Melina, well, it obviously didn't fucking work. But I mean, come on, dude, come on.
A lot of people. I like traveling a lot. I like doing drugs. I like my stream shit. That's like super fun for me. To be like, well, doesn't bad stuff happen sometimes so you shouldn't do it? That doesn't compute to me.
Or others, because I think the main thing with this is you have to think about the activity. The activity involves hurting others. Like even Destiny, as good as he is at what he does, probably could admit he's broken a lot of hearts. He's disappointed a lot of women. He's made a lot of people upset. It's not just how he feels about it. When you involve other people in this kind of pursuit of pleasure, other people get hurt as well. I stand by what I said at the beginning. I don't feel bad for Steven whatsoever because he knew what he was getting into. He was brazen about it. When he was warned, when he said, hey, this is a bad idea, this is a bad lifestyle, he said, I don't care, I want to have fun. It's fun for me. That's why I like these mentally ill women.
He's had this public view for years. But no, guys, Dan and Kyla says he's changed in the past month.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it only took his wife leaving him. It only took his wife leaving him going through an insane saga where he was just like freaking out because his wife was fucking that other twink dude. And then all of a sudden, it then accumulates into him the whole time been gooning with other girls and filming it. And guys, you know what I mean? Like, oh, his hedonistic lifestyle, as that guy said, is biting him in the ass. Look at that. It all came full circle. Now, I'm fine if you want to live a life of out there, going out there sucking and fucking and do whatever you want. That is cool. If you want to dress up like fucking Optimus Prime and then go have sex with a giant furry, I don't give a shit. It has no effect on my life whatsoever. But then to tell other people that you're just fine and it's working for you and showing your audience that even though you're like, yeah, maybe it's not for you, it's not for everybody, but it works for me. And then when it fucking hits a clusterfuck, then making it everybody else's fault and like not, I mean, the dude needs to take full accountability for him being a dipshit. Like 100%, like the best way to look at this is like, yeah, maybe if I wouldn't have been so pleasure based in all of my choices, this wouldn't have happened, because like all his journey was to find the best pleasure, and look at that, he was really fun for, and this is what happens anytime you're living your life just for fun. You will hit a point that it comes and bites you in the ass because you've let a lot of the things around you slide.
Currently, hanging out with like a streamer that does like denial all day every day, or that has someone on a DUI or something along those lines.
Jesus Christ, I don't even know where he was going with that. DUI, what the fuck?
Like, it's gonna be once we find that out, I think that's like gonna be kind of a rough one to be like why you threw someone under the bus just for clout.
Such a weird threat to throw out there to try and keep people in line. Well, I've hung out with a person who got a DUI, Dan. What are you gonna do about it? So I reached out to Destiny for some clarification. There's no point in even reading them to you because he copy and pasted the same response to every question, that he doesn't want to comment farther until he's past litigation. He clarifies, I'm aware that these answers are super unsatisfying, and it sucks it looks super guilty for me to respond this way. And even this might be saying too much, but any statement that I make could become part of a record for any court case, for any number of things that are foreseen and unforeseen to me right now.
I mean, that is fair. Okay, here's the thing. I do understand that it's going to make him look bad, and I didn't expect any of these questions to be answered to Willie Mack. Just because of the fact that everything he says is going to be held up because he is getting sued. There is litigation coming after him. He has, I think there's a few different cases right now heading his way. They're fucking trucking in. He used to let guys pull a train on his wife. Now he's got a train of litigation coming for his ass. So I don't blame him for not saying anything to make him look like more of an asshole.
Now. And there's a possibility that I say something that feels true but ends up not being true in the future. He then gives an example on how seemingly throwaway comments can lead to big consequences in court. He's right, because honestly, what is he supposed to do? Incriminate himself? He's going to let the legal process play out. So I asked Destiny if there was any false narratives being pushed, and if there was anything he wanted me to say that wasn't already public. He replied with people validating prior individuals who are insane, despite there being no evidence to validate them, is crazy conspiratorial nonsense. I assume he's talking about Mr. Girl's document where he lists every girl who has ever had a problem with Destiny. Destiny continues, there's obviously multiple affected parties, but it's rich that all of these people who cry about cancel culture and innocent until proven guilty have no problems making the most insane assumptions about a man, and have no problem engaging with people who are insanely toxic when it comes to male victims of any kind of weird sexual shit. He defended himself.
And here's the thing. If it comes out that all of this is bullshit and he didn't send, well, I mean, this is the thing. There's evidence showing that he sent it to somebody who wasn't Pixie, and then it got leaked. So therefore, there's already some sort of evidence that proves that he has sent it, that he already has done part of this. And just on that aspect alone, I'm criticizing him throughout this whole thing. It's not like the Johnny Depp and fucking whatever that bitch is, bitch whore name. I can't remember her fucking name. What was her name? I don't know. Whatever the bitch from Johnny Depp was, dude, she's so washed. I can't even remember who she was. Anyways, so it's like why the fuck would we believe you when there's evidence proving you right now? There's evidence showing that you were filming people. It's like there's screenshots for fucking days. Like, yeah, is there still stuff that probably is taken out of context? Sure. And I'm sure that when it gets to court, we will see whether he is going to be held responsible or not. And at that time, I mean, I'm not like rooting for his downfall, but I'm just here enjoying it. You know what I mean? It's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy how he thinks that he can utilize this double standard when he has so much fucking evidence piled against him.
Himself a bit more on Twitter against Nick, saying, I didn't admit to anything. Meanwhile, you can just read the messages where Destiny says, yeah, I know. I've damaged her severely. Nobody cares about you.
But here's the thing too. Well, I know I'm pausing it again, but like, even if you say like, oh, well, they can doctor messages. Yeah, well, okay. Well, you can't doctor the fucking videos. Like, you can't just like make new like, it's like, oh, well, it's AI. No, it's not, dude. You fucking sent a bunch of videos that are of you with somebody else to somebody else, and this shit happened. Plain and simple. Like,
being the victim because you caused all of this. There is no expectation for Kiwi Farms being the good guy. They have the leaks because you shared them with Rose. He goes on to say that people named Lav and Kelly Jean have been distributing his nudes, revenge porn in the literal truest sense. How many crazy women are part of this guy's life? At what point can I victim blame him? Ryan Beard's telling a story about how some girl named Anna is stalking you and your solution was to sext her.
He did stalk me.
That she locked. Okay, then why are you sexting with her still?
We're cool. We've been cool for a year, Max.
Okay, so you acknowledge that you've been sexting with her for a year.
Yeah, we've had on and off, sure.
Well,
Max, can you acknowledge that I haven't said anything bad about her for a year? I've said we've been fine. I've said that over.
The last time I talked to you about her, like 2 weeks ago or 16 days ago or something, you said that she locked you in the basement of her mind and it was a traumatic experience for you. Locked you in the basement of her mind.
Locked me in the past. In the past, Max.
Oh, okay.
Why? Tell me, Max. Why hasn't Anna come forward with any of this information now? Can you tell me, or do you want me to tell everybody why?
I don't want to speak on her behalf.
Okay, I will. It's because she said she literally wants to remain friends with me.
He had his whole community feeling bad for him.
I do love that. I love how he can browbeat people. And this is the thing. He's using this with his like Me Too thing. He does this all the time with political stuff. He'll find something he disagrees with and he'll browbeat the fuck out of you until you agree with him. He will try to make you look like the asshole. And this isn't about like Me Too bullshit. This isn't about like innocent until proven guilty. He's utilizing that to hide behind it. It's a fucking stop sign in front of all of his bullshit that he's standing there like, oh, no, you can't look at me. Oh, see the stop sign? I put a stop sign there. You got to think of that about this because you stood for so-and-so cause. What about this? What about this? And it's like, dude, you're just fucking cooked. You look like an asshole now. This is just like what happened when he said that firefighter deserved to get shot or whatever, and defendant like celebrated him getting shot. He was like, oh yeah, well, what about Nancy Pelosi's husband? You didn't feel so bad about that. It's like, dude, you're fucking browbeating people and trying to win arguments just by being the louder, more obnoxious person in the room.
Stalked as he was doing this. There are parts of streams where he's condemning people for sharing nudes non-consensually.
Yeah, me and Melina have problems, but I don't think I f***ed up at all in this. I'm not running around screen sharing people's nudes.
Bro, this shows that he knows this was bad. He was using this to expose someone. The embarrassing part about this drama isn't that a video leaked of Destiny sucking an Oscar Mayer, it's that he's thrown away his credibility. He comes off like a fraud. We did speak in an off-the-record voice call. It was not recorded, and he was giving off the vibe that things might not be what they seem, but because of litigation, I couldn't know what he was referring to. I certainly couldn't just blindly believe him. You look at his social media and he's memeing about the whole thing, posting himself dressed as Dr. Disrespect. Yeah, Dan and Kyla, you're right. Destiny's totally rehabilitated and remorseful over this whole thing. It's very obvious.
Yeah, this is where I decided if there was going to be if somebody else who was reputable made a video on it, I was going to react to it because of that tweet right there. It was like, oh, I'm memeing the doctor's disrespecting. I'm like, you don't take this fucking seriously at all. You have all this sympathy that you want from this situation, but you're the asshole. You're trying to play the monster while also trying to play the victim, and that's not how it works.
So is Destiny's career over because of this? Well, if Tim Pool can frame himself as a patriot while secretly taking Russian money, Vosh can say Lolly makes you a pedo while having a folder full of Lolly, Hasan can frame himself as more credible than the media while reporting every story wrong, and Tyler Oliveira can pretend to be a journalist while just making up stories on the spot, then why wouldn't Destiny recover from this? Let's be honest, the real punishment is Hasan will bring this up every chance he gets.
I can't believe that there are still Destiny fans in here. He kind of made you, though. Why you so ungrateful? He brought you in, no. Why not just talk it out, bro? He was your friend at one point. Dude, I don't know if you understand. We're having a conversation about this dude serially making sex tapes of the people he sometimes consensually and sometimes non-consensually records and is unconsensually sending to other people that he wants to fuck. And you're like, why don't you become friends with that guy again? I don't know, because he's
What's wrong with
This
you?
is all valid. I criticize Hasan a lot. I think he deserves a lot of criticism, and anybody who doesn't criticize somebody just because they're like, oh, well, I like his political takes, that is brain rot. But I think that he is right here. Like, why the fuck? It's like me becoming friends with Hasan after I've criticized him so much. I want nothing to do with this man in terms of actual friendship, or if he was like, yo, you should come on my stream, and I'd be like, well, are we debating? Like, what do you want? Do you want to debate me? Do you want to browbeat me? Why the fuck would I come on your stream? I already disavowed you posting terrorism videos and shit. Like, what the fuck's wrong with you? And like, it's like the same thing with Destiny. Why the fuck would I want to hang out with Destiny after all of this shit comes out? Like, what's the purpose? Why? Just so a portion of your audience will be happy with you? Fuck that, dude.
Gross. And Hasan is totally right. You know how hard that is to say? Again, if you're a left-leaning political viewer, your options are cooked. But seriously, it seems like if you have a political audience, you could get away with anything. You have Joe Biden's millionaire drug-fueled son getting pardoned after he said he wouldn't do it, and Donald Trump, our current sitting president, was part of an electoral scheme. But no, this is when political audiences finally take a stand. Sure, these audiences will excuse everything because they think the ends justifies the means. Hearing Lonerbox lay out his 2025 aspirations is hilarious until you realize how true it is.
I look forward to sometime coming back when I can like brand myself as the only remaining political streamer who doesn't have sex scandals and doesn't support terrorists. For some reason, it's always one or the other.
They're very musical people.
They're very musical people. Yeah, dude, this is cooked. It's like anybody who orbits fucking Hasan is just these fucking weirdo terrorist supporters. And then you have like the other side where it's like Destiny and his sex scandals. It's like, dude, what the fuck is going on? And then you got like the bread tubers out there who are like trying to pull socialism and shit into movies and games and everything. And they're doing such a bad job of it that they're making themselves look like assholes. So they have their drama. So it's like, dude, where's your normal fucking guys over here, dude? Where's your like normal fucking dude? I mean, the right has the problems too, but I'm just saying right now with the left, it's funny.
No, are you being serious?
Dog, what do you look? You think I made this?
This isn't music. I know they're singing, but I'm seeing just guns and shoot. This isn't a music video, Hasan.
No, it is. They do musicals about like their actions all the time.
Yeah, they're militarized action.
When I looked at it, I think the vibe that I got was like short stack, thick kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like the way like goblins get drawn in porn.
The fuck?
Niggas press their luck in, they get a butt fucking straight up the ass raw dog with the rat.
Destiny was objectively wrong for this and deserves all of the backlash. I think it's important to acknowledge that the people who exposed this story were not looking out for the victims at all. In fact, they were actively working against their best interests. In comes President Sunday and Beckett. Neither of these people had direct contact with Destiny, Kyla, Pixie, or anyone else involved in this story. They never even tried to reach out, yet they were the ones who posted videos outing the whole thing. The only information they have comes from—
And that I was implicit in watching this type of shit and like not knowing that this all came out as them. I thought maybe they'd reached out. I thought there was like intention behind this. I thought maybe they like maybe not even reached out, but it was just like well-known information at the time. I had no idea that they were the ones who were first outing this. I just saw it was trending on Twitter, was like, okay, I'm gonna make some views, this is gonna be great, only to find out that the people were malicious in doing it. That sucks. That sucks as a content creator because you don't always know the things behind this, especially when it's like new out there. And I mean, it's everything in the videos were partial. Most of the videos were partially factual. I do think that the $1 million thing was such a fucking loss, such an L, and I hate that that level of fucking maliciousness was put into the video, or not misintention was, I guess. I don't really know how to place what the fuck stupidity happened with his video and the $1 million thing, trying to make her look like she was a greedy little fucking goblin. But at the same time, dude, it sucks. It sucks that people don't take their time and do the research right when they're making these type of videos.
Aaron leaking all of Pixie's messages. They are only working with second-hand information. In Sunday's video, he says Pixie's silence was bought in exchange for Destiny paying for her law school, leaving all the other victims out to dry.
Pixie has since said nothing publicly.
This is why I was mad at her. I honestly was mad at her for doing this. But
there has been no evidence of legal proceedings being pursued, and she has seemingly ceased communications with the people she was previously working with, instead posting on X about taking the LSAT in pursuit of law school. It appears as though her attempt to extort Destiny has probably paid off. albeit at the expense of every other person Destiny has victimized in the
Yeah, see, this is where I took situations with him or with her, and to know that I took issue with her without all the information, I feel bad about, and that's why I'm correcting the record now. On this video, it's like, dude, if you're gonna do something like this, especially with all the pretentious books and shit he put in, like he's this fucking not Doctor Strange, fucking Sherlock Holmes of drama creation, when he's out there just fucking being wrong. Go fuck yourself, dude. Go fuck yourself with your little lamp and your little fucking books. President Sunday, you absolute piece of shit. Maybe do a little research. Stop being a little piece of shit about everything.
past and will victimize in the future.
His evidence for this is a single tweet of her saying she took the LSAT, as if you could just sign up and pass this test within a month. So at this point, my mind was blown that someone would out a victim for a 100K view video while the victim was still discussing their options, and then determined their silence was bought over a tweet. No need to confirm anything. So I reached out to Pixie to try and confirm if she ever talked to Sunday or Beckett about this. Pixie has pursued litigation against Destiny. However, she did let Lonerbox, who she's dating, provide some details.
Did President Sunday reach out to Pixie one time to see if he could go live with this video or to confirm that the draft was canceled or anything like that?
No, he didn't.
It is so incredibly selfish of Sunday and Beckett to insert themselves into a situation where they take agency away from Pixie. Because one, she's pursuing legal action, and you guys making this public gives Destiny ample time to delete evidence. While
exactly, dude. This all ends up being fucking. It's just so bad faith. It's bad journalism. It's just bad coverage in general. It sucks because, like, I'm not the only person who covered that. A million other people covered it. Everybody thought that there were that it's like, oh, this is fucking what's going on here. This is interesting. Famous creator or famous micro celebrity having a downfall. It's fun. It's great. Everybody likes to watch downfalls on the internet. So when you see a downfall, you go in there and you watch it, and you come on. President Sunday, the video who I watched, comes off like he's this super intellectual fucking person who did all the research, had all his facts straight. Makes it seem like he's fucking Sherlock Holmes of drama, and all to find out that he's maybe made it easier for Destiny to get away with some gooner shit, which will always put questions. Even if he does win a lawsuit, now we have questions of, was there more? Did President Sunday give him chance to get away with all this shit? Like, what? We now have these questions that are back of our mind, which one will either boost Destiny because he can say it was all bullshit if he wins. Two, it'll make everybody in the situation feel worse because now there's going to be those questions lingering in there, and you did a disservice to everyone.
Pixie's team was still building their case. I know I look smart enough to come up with that point myself. I'm not, so take that how you will. 4 days before Sunday released his video, he had a conversation with Nick acknowledging that Pixie was suicidal over this leaking.
All I'm getting from this is she's really not going to want this to be public. She wants to hurt Steven, but she doesn't want this to be known that she's done this and this is her.
Yeah.
And she desperately doesn't want her family to know. And if I cover it, there's a good chance they will find out.
Oh, 100%. Why do you think I haven't covered this at all? Like that's my principal issue.
Yeah, that's
here's the thing. If anything happens to Pixie in the foreseeable future,
it all drops.
Well, he will actually be destroyed then. That will be insurmountable. Not destroyed. He'll have his channel. He'll have his audience, but there will be no
politics.
The media company dream will not.
I think his media company dream has been dead since he celebrated that Trump guy or that guy who died at the rally. I mean, you can say, oh, he would have had a chance, that he still had opportunities after that. I think that anytime he would have gotten into a political debate after that, it was going to get brought up. There's just no way around it. I mean, he was the leading voice on celebrating the president getting shot. And I'm sorry, anybody who's celebrating the attempted assassination on somebody and they're supposed to be a reliable political source, they are not a reliable political source if they wish violence on their political adversaries. I'm sorry. Making memes about it is one thing, right? But being a guy who's supposed to be the voice, a voice of reason in the political sphere, you've lost all credibility to me. I'm sorry. And then this on top of that, it's just, he's cooked. He's fucking cooked. Even with, before this came out, I think that this was eventually going to come out, irregardless. I mean, the dude was gooning too close to the sun. I've already said that. He was being a fucking cum falcon, so it was eventually going to hit the scene. It just sucks that he pushed it out before doing the due diligence and actually getting his ducks in a row.
be a thing. So
It sounds like he's getting excited over the idea of Pixie killing herself and it ending Destiny's career. This dude sounds like a psychopath. In fact, during his call with Nick, he gives a hypothetical saying as much.
here's the thing. Let's assume I was a psychopath, and I'm not, okay? Somebody saying these things would be enough to...
Well, who the fuck starts a sentence like that? Assuming I'm if I was a psychopath. What the fuck? Why would you start a sentence like that? Well, you're in the context of like talking about a person who might end it all, dude. Might go rope neck swinging. You're just like, oh, but what if she did it? And imagine how good that would be for my coverage of owning Destiny. What, you want somebody to just like just go fucking for a neck rope swing? Just go fucking jump roping by their neck just so that you can destroy another micro celebrity? What the fuck is wrong with you, dude?
to deter me. Let's assume I was a psychopath. Let's assume I published this.
President Sunday talks with Nick. They both agree that going live without the victim's consent is a bad idea, and President Sunday does it anyway. Actual psychopath behavior. President Sunday's justification for this was that Pixie was engaging in extortion against Destiny.
Fortunately, Pixie did the worst thing that someone in her position could do. Rather than seek legal recourse or make a public statement denouncing the violation of her consent and dignity that these leaks represented, she seems to have ultimately chosen to try and profit from the situation by extorting Destiny.
I don't understand how Pixie discussing what her next step is or what the correct form of punishment should be equaling extortion, because that's how most civil cases start. Destiny even says in his statement on Reddit that Pixie at no point made a specific or explicit request for compensation. So I asked President Sunday, did you talk to a lawyer or is this just your layman interpretation of the law? Because let's be real, I don't think there's any way she gets charged for this. President Sunday says, yes, I spoke with lawyers I know. You know what their answer was? Obviously. I asked, can you link me to the statement from the lawyer you spoke with, saying these DMs count as extortion? And he says they were IRL conversations, so no. So I asked who the lawyer was because I would love to confirm this, and he replies, it's someone I know. Go find your own lawyer. It's so obvious to me that he's lying. You're telling me that you talked to a lawyer but didn't get any on-the-record statement for your video? Sure. To confirm it even farther, President Sunday did a stream leaking all of our DMs. His editor Kilo came forward exposing that President Sunday never talked to a lawyer.
He claims he's consulted lawyers about this.
Bro, this is a way better than President Sunday's fucking avatar. I'm sorry, look how fucking cool this is. You can like the silhouette, but like it's still got the facial details. Oh, this is sick, bro. This is anime fucking awesomeness. I'm sorry, I'm gooning a little bit over an avatar, but come on, that's sick.
Originally, he told me, Kilo, you're not a lawyer. I was raised by one and took law courses in university. But then when he was talking to Aiko, she asked if he spoke to lawyers, and he said, I spoke to people who know lawyers.
Who did you speak to?
Several people I can't name, but
But
just
lawyers,
trust me on this.
lawyers.
People who know lawyers.
But then, when he was talking with Willie Mack, he said he spoke directly.
Bro, he had trust me, bro, lawyers. He had trust me, bro, lawyers. He went to an alley. He asked a homeless person, yo, do you think it'd be cool if I dropped this video? And the guy was like, give me some crack. And the guy was like, okay, here's some crack. Are you a lawyer? I'll be whatever you want for $5 and more crack. And he was like, okay, here's more crack and $5. Do you think it's cool if I drop this video? Yeah, I'll do whatever you want, buddy.
Two lawyers, but won't mention who.
So Sunday is just lying to make the victim seem like a bad guy so he doesn't look insane for making his video.
Beckett of Krabs, myself, and President Sunday sat down to present evidence, put together a timeline, and establish what the mission of the project was. I was a little anxious, but also excited to learn what President Sunday had, and I wanted to find out what the justification was for coming out with the story. The nuke. But we started the meeting.
Oh my god, I made a joke. I made a joke at the beginning of the stream about it being the Destiny nuke, dude. About it being the Destiny nuke, and the dude literally called it the fucking Destiny nuke. Let's go. Dude was so fucking egotistical about this shit. Bro, Destiny going too close to the sun? This dude spread his ass cheeks for the sun while getting up there, bro.
Only about 10 minutes, I interjected. Sunday didn't have a nuke. I'm not even sure Beckett had much of anything. And the only real reason for publishing that was given to me was that because Pixie was supposedly trying to extort Destiny, she was somehow implicated in the cover-up efforts by Destiny and his associates, and therefore had forsaken her right to privacy. or something like that. I don't know.
Sunday does every stream in front of a wall of books, draws himself sitting on a pile of books. He's so knowledgeable, repeatedly calling me stupid in DMs for asking straightforward questions. Meanwhile, he's comfortable just making things up because he's above saying I don't know or I could be in the wrong. The dumbest people I talk to seem to think they're geniuses. Just a pattern I'm recognizing. He's lying about being an...
Here's the thing, too. I want to say something on the terms of people thinking they're smarter than everybody else. You are never smarter than everyone else. You will never be smarter than everyone else. You will never be the smartest person in the room. If you think you're the smartest person in the room, chances are you usually are the dumbest person in the room. You are an absolute fucking gooner dipshit. You should always go into every situation willing to hear a perspective, learn a new perspective, or learn something. You are never smarter than everybody else in the realms. Doesn't matter how many fucking books you have on your bookshelf. It doesn't matter how many times you've listened to NPR radio. You are never the smartest person in the room. There is always more for you to learn. There's always knowledge to be obtained. Don't ever act entitled because you think you're smart. It comes off as douchey and it makes you a piece of shit.
Intellectual the same way he lied about talking to a lawyer. I'm not convinced he could read Dr. Seuss. He's malicious. He's acted like a psychopath. He outed a victim's story when she was working on the court case. Slandered her.
An American citizen who finds themselves a victim of revenge pornography has several valid actions they can take. Let's go over 3. First, they can seek legal recourse. Second, they may make a public statement denouncing the person who leaked the materials and violated their consent. And in fact, this can be done in conjunction with the first option I mentioned. And finally, they can choose to do nothing. They can stay silent and hope that it all blows over. And this is their right. But Pixie did not do any of these.
She was in the middle of doing the first 2 things, and then you robbed her of the third. But yeah, keep acting like the good guy. He's the type of person I hope never becomes a successful YouTuber. If you're a victim, why would you ever want to share your story? He's shown it's going to leak, then people you've never talked to are going to publicize it. You will be vilified by them because they don't care about you or your legal case at all. If I had any advice for Sunday, it would be to apologize to Pixie and the victims, not just post a pinned comment half backtracking what you're saying. Also shower, get a haircut, go outside. You aren't mature enough to cover these sort of things if you don't.
Bro, I love that his picture makes him look so clean, bro. And then you actually see this fucking dweeb, and he's just all fucking like fat and cringy, bro. I can't find the area, but he's just all fat and cringy. I mean, I'm fat and cringy, and I look fat and cringy, and I am fat and cringy, and I'm completely fucking fine with that. I make jokes about it. But dude, this is the problem with people who make this intellectual bounds in their head. They see themselves like this. They see themselves like this, and what in reality what they are just fucking bottom dwellers, dude. They're living in the sewer. They're having sex with alligators, and then they're yelling up at the street of normal people that they're smarter than them, and it's like, bro, I have a house. What the fuck are you talking about living in the sewer?
Don't have basic hygiene. The video made by Sunday's former editor details the clown show that was this investigation. It's the most comedic tragedy I've ever watched.
With all due respect, I'm not sure you think you know what you're saying when you say you have to, because when you
I didn't say have to. I didn't
Really?
say that. You said that. I said you have an expectation, and you said, well, I don't have to do that. And I'm not saying you have to do anything. I'm saying there's an expectation that you do this thing. When you're communicating with someone in private, they're expecting that you're not going to show that to other people without asking them first.
Okay, but if they're asleep, they're not expecting, are they?
If they're asleep?
They're asleep, yeah. If people are asleep, they're not expecting anything. They're kind of just out, right?
Bro, I'm sorry, but like the voices are pretty good.
Are you trolling me right now?
No, I'm actually making
This guy's voice is really good.
a serious point.
The conversations he had with his editor are psychotic.
Why the f are you adding extra risks to this? We're already in enough danger as is.
You think we're in danger? I don't think
we are in
anyone's
tremendous danger. So you don't think, for example, if you said something that was able to be effectively spun by someone like Nick DeOrio that managed to get some traction that cast aspersions on my entire channel, that income plummeted so I can't pay you, that doesn't affect you?
It's about me, me, me. How does this affect Sunday? How can I make...
Yeah, dude, even though the other guy kind of has like a more nasally voice, I think that he can make YouTube content just fine. He doesn't need President Sunday. He can go out and do this shit. Go out and do it, bro. Like, if you're already editing President Sunday's video, you can fucking do it. Just go fucking do it. I know a lot of these people are like, oh, I edit, I do this. Just go fucking make your own videos. Start building your channel and then dip the fuck out of these toxic individuals.
Manipulate my editor into staying quiet. I also talked to Beckett, who worked somewhat with Sunday and dropped his video on the same day. Now, his wasn't nearly as bad, but he still went forward with the video knowing only secondhand information. Really third-hand because he's getting it from Sunday. Recognize you're getting your information secondhand. At any point, did you try to reach out to Pixie?
No. But to be clear, this was a very brief period, a couple of days. I clearly did want to reach out to people. There was actually a conversation where I wanted to reach out to Lonerbox. Because I don't know Pixie.
But why did you reach out to Lonerbox?
I didn't. But but that's partly because of what Loner had just done on the stream. I think that's a mistake, by the way. I'll own that mistake. But I obviously wanted to reach out to people. For instance, I went to FPS Diesel for an optics check on the DMs and what he thought. I was reaching out to Nick.
Nick and Diesel, no less than Beckett and Sunday. What does going to them do? Realize why I'm so...
Yeah, dude, this is so fucking stupid. Like, the thing about this guy is he got this information, thought it'd be cool to make a video. I can completely see where he's at. He's like, oh, this is cool. I got this information. I'll make the video. They're making it sound like it's public, and this is all this information. It seems like he's looking at it with dollar signs in his eyes, thinking this is going to be fucking awesome. And all of a sudden, he's like, oh, well, I'm going to release my video on Sunday. Well, I'm saying that because the guy's name is President Sunday. And he's like, fuck, well, I better get my video out. And he did an optics check with 2 other people, got an okay, wasn't as disingenuous about it, and he's still thrown under the bus now because he listened to a fucking retard.
Critical, though, of you and Sunday? Because, hold on, you're telling me, though,
understand.
You're telling me, though, that this was done over a couple of days. You didn't bother to reach out to Lonerbox or Pixie, and you guys went for the story anyway. How did you even get the draft? Was that from Aaron, too?
Sorry, get the
draft of, like,
state?
Pixie's draft statement.
Yeah, I showed that in the DMs. Yeah.
So you guys have a draft from her. It seems like she's going to come out in some way because she has a fucking written draft. Like, it just seems, it blows my mind, man. Like, you've been somebody where I've been told over and over again, nah, dude, Copenseed is great. He does great videos, takes a lot of care with them. And it's like, to me, I look at this and I'm like, I cannot believe, it just seems like such a selfish story.
Well, hold on. Let me be clear. I don't think selfish is fair. I think I can take a lot of criticism. I think there are issues there. But I don't think selfish is fair.
In what way is that not selfish?
Well, because I didn't do this to get clout or money or like acclaim. I thought this was going to end my fucking channel. Sunday was going to release a video. I thought, I know Sunday, and I thought what needed to be done at the same time was painting a picture of what happened behind the scenes to explain why so many people had these DMs. Mm-hmm. What I needed was Sunday's DMs with Straighter Aid. I didn't expect this to be a video where I'd get like pats on the back.
Again, why you think it would damage you?
What, the video?
Yeah, before you made it.
Because I recognized that once these were coming out, the people who were releasing them would get rightfully a fair amount of criticism for doing so.
Then why
but
would
I
you
also
release it?
Because, well, for some, I've said publicly as well, if Sunday wasn't releasing his video, I wouldn't have released the same video. I probably wouldn't have acted in the same way. But Sunday looked at these are coming out. He wants to talk about it. Well, okay. It needs a companion piece.
So because he is...
Oh, shit. So, yeah, it's kind of what I said, but not what I said. He definitely knew that President Sunday was doing it, found out he was releasing the video, had already talked to him, thought it would be cool to make a companion piece. This is fucking selfish. I don't know any other way to describe this other than fucking selfish. I was giving him a little bit of a leg because, like, maybe he had already seen, like, because he's talking about already seeing the other DMs, but it still looks fucking atrocious.
Jumping off of a bridge. You're doing it too, dude? Oh, man.
Well, like, and again, that's what I'm saying. It's, it's something I expected to do damage to me.
See, he's doing that thing I don't like that interviewers do, where he's waiting for the what the fuck up. He's overreacting to it because he knows he's gonna make this into contact. I think this is a bad look for Willie Mack. This isn't just a Willie Mack thing either. This is like anybody who's interviewing anybody where they're waiting for the what the fuck moment. They're waiting for the what the instead of just listening. And that's something I've always appreciated. And Turkey Thomas has gotten some shit for being a little bit too lax on shit, but he's trying to get his clippable moment, and I don't know, it comes off kind of cringe, especially with him doing the hands and the whatever and the drama, and oh my god. And it's like, dude, just let him spin his little weave, ask the poignant questions, and quit trying to trap him, and just let him dig his own hole.
But also, what was the other option? Lie about it?
No, the other option is to do what
hold
literally
on.
everybody else did, and you just wait, let everybody else shoot themselves in the foot if he's going to be reckless with the victim and her claims and hijack her story. Like, you realize she was talking to lawyers during this, and they're gathering information. Fucking crazy.
Listen,
to me,
I'm
on
many levels, I'm with you. And I think one of my constant comments through this is, how does this reach me? I am like 5th person down the chain. How does this reach me with no one doing any of that?
Again, just makes me go, like, how were you the person to feel like you should make that video?
Because I thought it was such a fucking mess that at least I could make an uneditorialized
Yours I
piece and
don't
get the
think was
information out.
as bad, but just the premise of this whole thing, when I talk to everybody, it's just...
I think it is a mess.
Beckett is the only person I talked to that acknowledged wrongdoing and said he would go about things differently in the future. Takeaway seems to be what I think is the most important thing, and that's that you have to reach out to Pixie. You got to make clear, or Lonerbox, and you got to make clear of like, hey, this is what I know. This is the story I'm thinking of running. I want to know, like, what's going on with this? Are you guys pursuing anything? And then they could go ahead and, like, give you the guidelines to it. Like, hey, look, we're talking legally. We'd rather this not come out.
Yeah, like, again, I'm not defending every part of this, and I don't want to. I mean, this is how I started the call, right?
Which is more than any other person I talked to. He became very critical of himself, especially as things moved off the record. I respect him for that.
When I met you, I admit my first thoughts was a trick. You look so good, huh? I suck on your daddy's dick.
Every day that passes, the drama gets more hilarious. Destiny and Hasan are watching each other's content nukes while refusing to view their own. I get he's going through a legal case, but at some point he needs to address that video. During my off-the-record conversation,
Yeah, I haven't seen that other video.
With Beckett, he asked me a pointed question. When would you associate with Destiny again? If he was part of some drama as a side character and I interviewed him, I would do it then, but I don't think I could just go hang on his podcast anymore. Destiny and I were not friends. However, I have a lot of respect for him. He's the only major creator in the political space that I have covered that actually looks stuff up, reads first-hand information, and directly engages with his critics. That may seem like a low bar, but it's rare. He's somebody that has always demanded accountability from others, but right now when he's objectively in the wrong, he's not taking any of it. He's calling Nick a hypocrite for saying innocent until proven guilty with Ethan, but not treating himself that way. Nick then makes very clear, you shared Pixie's intimate videos with a random 19-year-old OnlyFans model, and then posted logs where you admitted to severely damaging her, and he links the messages of Destiny doing just that. I'm the kind of person that could forgive anyone for about anything, but there needs to be remorse, and he's obviously not there yet. His coworkers cover for him saying he is, but I don't see it. I don't see how anyone could take him seriously until then. I also want to emphasize how good—
But here's the thing about him looking things up, right? He might look things up, but he also might be looking up things that only support his opinions. Now, I don't watch Destiny completely, but I do know that watching him go through every drama he goes through, he's the victim in it, and he will use whatever information's on hand that he can find that can support his cause, and then he will browbeat people into the absolute dirt. He will fucking shove his dick into the dirt on top of them and just fuck the shit out of it because he thinks he's getting his W. That is something Destiny has done over and over again, and he's proven that he will do that. He's proven that he will browbeat people to the absolute lengths that he can browbeat them. I don't understand why people have always given him such a pass just because, like, he sometimes comes off as honest because he looks shit up. It is such a disingenuous thing for me. I mean, there's a lot of people out there that I agree. A lot of these political people, even when they're covering stuff that I think is funny and I'm just here to enjoy it, it's still like, yeah, these people have an agenda. They have an agenda. This is something that people criticized me when I was covering Hasan, right? They criticized me because it's like, oh, well, you don't know all the facts about the situation or whatever. Yeah, dude, I'm just here to watch the downfalls, and I'm not going to sit here and listen to every political point every time. I'm here to make fun of the people. And it's something that I notice that anytime anybody's like gets intertwined with watching these political guys and becomes a part of their audience, they think that they need to defend them. And you don't need to defend these fucking people. These are people that you watch. This is like fucking if Key and Peele decided that they were gonna like bang each other's assholes and then like force everybody at the office to watch it. It's like, yeah, dude, I enjoyed their comedy, but that doesn't mean I sign off on them as a person. And I feel like a lot of people need to take that approach to all entertainment. Like, you might have, like, even when you're watching me, you might really enjoy me. You might think that when I make the right sex joke, it's the funniest thing in the world, or you like that I still say retarded or something like that. But that doesn't mean that everything that I do, you should sign off on. That's weird, dude. That's fucking weird. And I think that a lot of people, just because they see somebody that supports their ideology, they buy everything that they say, and I think that is dumb. You should do your own research. You shouldn't wait on somebody else to do research. It's just... And that's the problem I think a lot of even creators fall into with being friends with like a lot of these political guys, because they're waiting for they're letting them do the research for them, and that's stupid. And I'm not saying Willie Mack does that. I'm just saying that covering it there to make it seem like he's never lied about political stuff when I'm sure that there's an ample amount of times he's lied to further his point.
Good the
or not lied, but misinterpreted or misrepresented information to make his side look better.
Video was by President Sunday's former editor Kilo. He actively tried to correct the record, and his video has very few views. He gave up money to try and do the right thing, and I think that should be acknowledged. Hope you enjoyed the video. Subscribe to the channel, and shout out to the homies over on Patreon. Crimson Glass.
Yeah, it was a great video. I really like Willie Mack. I always think he does a really good job of covering situations. I think that he did I think he did kind of a I think the two critiques I have is, one, giving him credit for being the only political person that researches stuff, or one of the only ones, I think is kind of disingenuous. Just because I think that all these political guys are going to research whatever covers their point. They're always going to try to look up information and try to get the right facts that support their cause and whatever their agenda is. And that's all sides. That's not just Destiny. That's any of these political talking heads. And I think that's a problem. Also, another thing that I think that is really crucial is the interview section. When he was interviewing Cope and Seeth, I think he really was waiting for that "I got you" moment and was overreacting for the entertainment value, which I get, but also it makes it, to me as a viewer, like as a viewer or somebody reacting to this, even just offhand, and these aren't bad critiques, but even as just somebody that's looking at this, is like, yeah, dude, you were looking for that thing to make, you were trying to further your agenda in making your video, while critiquing somebody else for furthering their agenda to make their video. It came off disingenuous, and I think it kind of hurts your points that you were trying to get at about getting their consent in something, because you're filming this guy and trying to make it look like you're trying to get content. You're trying to get extra content out of it through your actions. I don't know. It just came off really weird. It made me kind of, I don't like that. I don't like it. It looks like you're trying to fucking get that own, and then you're giving him credit in the background for taking accountability while making him look like a complete asshole with your overacting. I don't know, but yeah, dude, that's Destiny gets destroyed. Confronted on his crimes. I think that this was a good video. I like that it broke down everything. It had some stuff that I wanted to address, and it did it for me, which is great. Which means that I don't have to fucking. I don't know. I made my video on it. Then I've reacted to the right thing, I guess. Because my first commentary reaction was on that other one. Now I got this one to kind of cover the bases, and yeah, that was good. That was good.